All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today we're having our Paper Pumpkin class, and this is the April kit called Lakeside Retreat. And we're going to make one of each of the cards in the kit, so that way you can use the rest for alternative projects, which I'll show at the end, or you can go back and then make the rest of them the way that they're set up, whatever you like to do. So we've got a bunch of people on the call. Some other people may be popping in, but we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go over to my desktop. Spotlight for everyone. And there it is. Here's our kit. So as we open it up, the first things that you're going to find are the Peaceful Pine ink spot. And I just realized that I'm also doing classes this week. So everything is set up all over the place, all over my house. So I just have to go grab my full size. Well, maybe I'll just use this. I usually use the full size pad. No, I'm going to get it because I want to show you how it's magnetic. And I didn't think of it until now. So talk amongst yourselves for 1 minute and I will be right back.
Lois, you done any poo cards yet? Silly little bear, silly old bear.
I've done just the one so far.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay, so you get the Peaceful Pine ink spot, but it also, of course, comes in the full-size pad. And the full-size pad is one of our new magnetic cases. So just the new in colors are in the new cases, but as you can see, they're magnetic. They're a lot easier to open. They snap together, snap closed. You can stack it and it stays, actually, when you stack it this way, it stays really nicely. So I just wanted to make sure that you got to see the new full-size ink pad for that. Okay. And then the rest of the supplies are what we're going to be using. We'll use all this. This is the tear and tape. So for these projects, as many of you know, I hoard my tear and tape because I use it all the time. I'm just going to use my regular Stampin' Seal instead. It just makes it a little easier for me. And then you get a little packet that has these little stones. So these are exclusive to the Paper Pumpkin kit. And that's what they are. They're little rocks. They're supposed to be little rocks. And then you have little mini dimensionals, which are the dimensionals that they use for the projects. And they use a lot of dimensionals. So if you're using full-size dimensionals, they you don't need to use as many, but because they're using little ones, that's what we have. Okay, then we have this great stamp set. And actually, there's a lot of stamping on this project. So make sure you've got your block. And I'm not going to clean my stamps in between because we use some of them multiple times, but also we're only using the Peaceful Pine tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clean them all off at the end. So I will be switching pretty quickly between the different stamps and the block. Okay, so these are the cards that we're going to be making. And they are cute, but let's go ahead and separate our package. So for those of you who have not been on before, the first thing that we like to do is take the package of supplies and I pull out the instructions, okay, which are usually on the back side of the package that you get. And on the final page on the inside is how you separate out the supplies. And once you have them separated out by card, it makes it very easy to do the assembly and the stamping and everything. So let's go ahead and open our package. And the first thing we have is this lovely Misty Moonlight piece. And that is going to go with card number 2. So I'm going to be stacking my supplies, card 1, card 2, and card 3. Okay, and then I'm going to put away any of the leftovers, okay, to save it for another time. Next up, we have our envelopes. They are all the same, and they're this beautiful variegated blues and cloud cover, so they're really pretty. But we're not going to use these tonight, so you can put them all aside. Okay, next is the card base for card number 1. You can see how that looks. So again, that goes to card number 1. Put the extra away. The next one is the flanking, I guess, and that goes to card number 3. And then we have these punch outs, and so they always give us some extras. So really all we need from here is one of the rectangles, slightly rectangles, almost a square. And that one goes with card, let's see, we have 3.
Is it the big one or the little one?
Well, not the one with the rounded edges. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Right.
So we need 2 of these. Are these
Okay.
are the same size or they're not? Let's see.
Aren't they bigger? Or is
Are
it
they
just
bigger?
my
I don't
imagination?
know. Let's see. Let's check
Oh
it
yeah,
out.
they are.
They are. Okay, so the bigger one is going to go with, let's see if I can remember. No, they're the same size. All of mine are the same size here. So one of the rectangles goes with card number 3 and one goes with card number 1. Okay. And then the rounded edge one, that goes with card number 2. Okay. And you can take all the rest and put them aside. We good so far? Okay. So next up, we have these little labels. I'm going to call these labels. And so there's a green one. Green, they're all long and skinny. So the green one goes with card number 2. The brown one goes to card number 1. And then the orangey one goes with card number 3. Go. Okay. Hopefully I haven't lost anyone. Okay. No problem, Bruce. We'll see you next time. Okay, so we have card number 2. We are going to, the space is for card number 2. So I'm actually going to slide it under just so that I can see what's what here. Okay. So that card base goes to card number 2. And then, I love this. Take out that whole next sheet of die cuts, and we're going to use all those pieces so the rest can go away. So from that, I'm just going to work my way around, and I'm starting with the plaid, and the plaid goes with card number 1. The 2 oars, they both go to card number 3. Then we have that little vest, like a fisherman's vest, right? Or a life jacket. I don't know. My life jackets never look like this other than the way it's tied on. Aren't they always red or orange? Anyway, that goes with card number 3. The bicycle goes to card number 2. And that little oval with the fish, it goes to card number 1. Lots and lots of pieces on this. So the circle with the little lake house goes with card number 3. The square with the beach, that goes to square with the beach is on card number 2. And finally, there's this plank in the middle, and that goes to card number 2. Okay. That's a bunch of pieces we have added. Everybody good so far? Everybody looks pretty good. Okay, and then finally, the last sheet of die cuts. Again, you're going to use the whole sheet, and we're going to punch out that giant circle, and that's going to go with card number 3. And then we have a pecan pie banner or sign, and that goes to card number 1. And then the Misty Moonlight goes to card number 2. Nope, card number 3, sorry. And that is everything that we need for all of our cards. So you can take all those extra supplies and put them away, and we can get ready to get going. All right.
Did you mention the bike yet, Brenda?
Yes, the bike goes to card number 2.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Did I go too fast? Sorry if I did. Okay. So I'm going to put the cards number 2 and 3 just to the side. And I'm going to pull down all my supplies for card number 1. So this is the card that we're making. So you can see the back of the card is the plaid. And we have a bunch of stamping to do. Okay. So we're going to actually be stamping 4 different things. So let's go ahead and pull out the white piece, the white rectangle. Okay. And then also the brown long label, right? Is that what I called it before? I can't remember. Okay, so that's what we're going to stamp on. So let us start with, this one has Happy Father's Day in the center. You can pull out, of course, whichever thing that you want. The Happy Birthday, I believe, fits there as well. And I'm going to take out my Peaceful Pines, and you notice with the ink pad that the pad itself is felt and it's in the lid so that it always stores upside down. Just a helpful hint there. And you're going to just stamp it. Now I made all these cards already once today, but you want to, it's good if you stamp off somewhere just to get like the oils off of your stamps. It makes a cleaner stamp, but you're going to do this right in the center. Happy Father's Day, or whatever you chose. Okay. Then we're going to take this little squiggly line here, little squiggly line. And we want to make sure we put it on our block straight, and I know that sometimes that's a problem. So my little trick for that is that if you put it onto your surface with the flat side up, of course this one doesn't say, there we go, and then pick it up rather than trying to lay it onto the block itself, it usually will stay straighter that way. You won't, be using your hands to curve it at all. So we're putting one of these at the top and then another one at the bottom. All right. So that makes it look, makes it stand out a little bit more. Finishes it off a little bit. So again, you've got the line at the top and the line at the bottom, and then you're saying in the center. Okay. So the next thing we're going to stamp on is this label, as I said, and they have on this one, let's see, what does it say? You are an inspiration. So again, I'm going to peel it off and I'm going to put it onto my table and then pick it up from there. And so that it should be nice and straight. It's upside down, but at least it's straight. And then you're just going to stamp that right in the center. And there you go. But we aren't done yet. So once you have that, we're actually going to be stamping right onto the card front. Okay, and this one, it's easy to see where your score line is because the pattern changes very abruptly, right? So we're going to be stamping on this, and we're going to use the grass. And we're going to just stamp over the grass that's already here. And it just gives it a little bit of dimension when we do that. And I believe it's only once on this card. So we're just going to take that little grass piece. I guess those are cattails, but they're all green, so it's grass to me. And we're going to stamp that right over the grass that's already there. Okay, so it kind of just gives it a little bit more depth. And then finally, we're going to stamp the little birds. We're just going to ink those up. And when you stamp your birds, make sure they look like they're flying. Sometimes they do them upside down because I can never figure out which way it goes. But the right way is to have the thicker one in the bottom left of that bird triangle. And we're just putting them right in the top corner of the card, like that. And that is all the stamping that we need to do on this card. So I'll just quickly go through it again just to make sure everybody got everything. We have our sign that has the Happy Father's Day or Happy Birthday in the center. Then we have the squiggle lines on the top and the bottom of that. We have You Are an Inspiration, or if you chose a different saying, you have that there. And then on the card front, we stamped the grass down here and the birds up here. All right. Are we good? If you're good, give me a thumbs up. Okay. One more. Okay, great. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fold our card. And you can use your bone folder to give it a nice crease. I would do that, except that somehow I've lost a few bone folders this month, and next month I'll have too many bone folders. That's how it goes with classes. Things show up and disappear. So I don't have one over here today. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that strip of plaid paper, and that's going to go on the right side of the card, but we're using dimensionals for this. Okay, so they used a whole bunch because these are tiny, but these are really strong, and you don't need a whole lot of lift because, when you put it in an envelope, it squishes down a little bit anyway. That's how I look at it. So I used 4, which for me is a lot, even by itself. And that is going to go like so. The only thing is you want to try to make it straight if you can. So it looks like that. And it's really nice because it goes with the back side of the card. I love when you get that. Easy peasy. Okay, next we are going to, they learned my little trick. Remember, not really a trick, right? When we're going to be putting this on right about here. And so this strip is already raised. Okay, so we need to put some dimensionals on this side so that it's at the same level, but we want flat adhesive, so you can use your tear and tape on this side of it, okay? So that when you put it down, the tear and tape is on the back side of this side, and the dimensionals are on the back side of this side, okay? So it's going to look like this. Those of you who have done this with me before already know how this works. And we're going to put, again, I'm using my Stampin' Seal for now instead of tear and tape. And so this is how I have it. You can see I've got my adhesive over here and then my dimensionals on this side. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. And we're going to put this in the bottom corner. Try to get it straight, and there you have it. Okay, so it's raised on this side and flat on this side because this is already raised up because we don't want it to be lopsided. Okay. Then we're going to take our little sign that we stamped and just using regular adhesive, so tear and tape or whatever you want. And we're going to put that onto the back of the sign. It looks like that. And we're going to do it again, just what we just did before. So we need to put on our label here, we're going to put some regular adhesive on the back right side and a dimensional or two on the back of the left side. And that is going to end up being what the sign is swinging from. Okay, so if you can imagine what they're trying to do here. Okay, it's going to look like, I'm going to get it centered. You can. And it looks like that. So it's cute. It gives a little detail. It's a different way of putting a sentiment on a card instead of just a plain old label. It kind of looks like a sign. And then they have the little fish. And that's going to go on at the same way that we just did. So a little regular adhesive on one side, a dimensional on the other. And this is going to be at the top of the sign. So this card is great for somebody who's a fisherman, I guess, because Father's Day.
Brenda?
Yep.
I just don't understand why they're covering up the beautiful boat.
Aw, I didn't even realize there's a boat. There's a boat there?
I had the same reaction. I had the same reaction.
Yes.
Oh, I got to get my other one out. I didn't even see the boat. So you can put it anywhere. You can put it up higher.
I did.
Okay.
I'm just saying I don't understand why they'd make a beautiful card with that nice canoe and then cover it.
This is the boat?
Yeah, that's a canoe. Yeah.
Oh, and that's beautiful? Like, I'm okay with it. I don't know. I just thought it was like the land sticking out. I didn't even know.
That's funny. Sorry. Personal preference.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. All right. But then we're going to add some little stones at the bottom. So we have two different kinds of stones. We've got roundish stones and flattish stones. So they used 3 roundish and 2 flattish on this card, and they put 3 on the left side in the bottom corner. And I didn't really know how to put these, but you know, they are cute. They add a little something to the card. So they just put some in the grass over here, and then they put some on the dock over here. So we're going to use one of each. Oh, somebody else. People are oh, that's Anne Marie. Okay, she said she might have to drop. Okay. All right. So those little rocks are 3 over here. So I have 2 roundish ones and 1 flattish one here. and one roundish one and one flattish one here. And that's our card. That is it. How did everybody do, other than covering up their canoe? All right, awesome. Okay, so when you're ready to move on, you can give me a thumbs up, and I'll know we're ready. Okay, 2. Great. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. So card number 2 looks like this. Everybody went nuts over this bicycle. There's just the cute way that it looks with the basket, and that it's kind of like a watercolor. And when we saw it on stage, everybody really liked the way that looked. So let's take out our pieces. So on this card, we are going to stamp on that little rounded edge banner. Whoops. Okay, so the rounded edges are at the bottom, just so that you know. And we're going to stamp on the green label. And I don't know if these are, I don't know what's the right way up, but I don't know if it matters. And then we are also going to stamp this time on this grassy lake piece. So we're going to it's pretty much very similar to the one we just did. So let's go ahead. And this one they used Happy Birthday. So this could be used. It was so funny. I was reading some comments about the paper pumpkin, how everybody loved the kit and everything. Somebody said she loved everything except the girl's bike. I didn't understand what was offensive about the girl's bike. People are crazy, what they like and don't like. So I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know, did she want a boy's bike? Or maybe she thought that the card was masculine and it shouldn't have been a girl's bike. It should have been a boy's style.
Yeah, I
get
think
that. Yeah, I do get that. If that's how they were thinking. But immediately I thought,
it.
yeah, I immediately thought, well, then I don't have to just use this card. Could be for a woman, So, but I guess now that I've talked that through, I kind of get what she was trying to say there. So, okay, so I did Happy Birthday on that little banner with the rounded edges at the bottom. Okay. Then we are going to do, this one has older, wiser, better as the little phrase on that strip. We'll do that. Older, wiser, better. Here it is. And again, I'm going to lay it on my table and then pick it up. I'm going to go on here. Older, wiser, better. Always a good saying, I think. Okay. And this time we're going to stamp some more. We're going to stamp the grass twice. We're going to stamp the grass over here and also on this side. So take that same grass. And I'm just doing it exactly the way that they did. So if you want to put your grass someplace else, you certainly can. This is how they did it. I've got grass here and grass here. And again, it just adds a little bit of depth to the grass that's already there. So it's a different color. And then finally, we've got those birds again. And this time we're stamping the birds on the right side of the card instead of the left. So they're coming up here. Okay. So we stamped 5 things. They are, just to repeat, we have our happy birthday or whatever you decide you want there. We have older, wiser, better on our little strip. We have 2 of the grasses, one here and one here. And then we have the birds up in the top right corner. So I had another video go viral this week, which is so funny. It was the card that we did in the Stamp-A-Stack that I also did at like a stamp camp that I had gone to. It was this card, you know, we had done that. And I just did a quick video on it, and it's over 40,000 views right now. So I know. And I had a bunch of people. I gained like over 100 new followers on my Facebook page, and that one, yeah. And so a lot of people also signed up for my email list, and that one person who came on for a second there, a few minutes, she had seen it, and so she wanted to see what we were doing, you know, on this call tonight. So she came on. So yeah, it's been a good week. You never know what's going to hit. Like the lottery.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm assuming we're all set now. So we can go ahead and take our striped cards, you know, the card base. So pretty. Great design. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that Misty Moonlight and we're going to put it right over the top of all those lines. And they use dimensionals for this. So you need a bunch of these little minis, right? So you could also, if you wanted to, use the edges because you kind of get a lot more action when you use the edges. But I'm just gonna probably do 6 on here, just so that it lifts it up just the littlest bit. They show, I'll show you. Oh yeah, that's about all they showed. I think they 2, 4, 6, 8. They used 8. But, so I just did it like that. And you peel off your backings. And put it on so that a little is sticking out. A little of the stripe is sticking out of each side. Okay, that lifts it off and it gives it that little shadow. And it makes it look really, really fun. Now, if I was designing it, I probably would have put that flat and I would have put this up on dimensional, but they did it the opposite, which is good to try sometimes, do things a little bit differently. So once you have that on there, you're going to take the piece that we stamped that has the water and grass, and we're going to put it at the upper part of the card. Like that. Drinking a lot because I think it's just allergies, but I've been losing my voice and my throat hurts today and such a pain. So, right. Just watching everybody, seeing where we're at. Okay. So for the next part, I like to build from the bottom up. So I wanted to know where my happy birthday was going to go. And they put it right about here. They did use dimensional on the back of this. And so I'm going to do the same. And then this way I'll know where to put the other pieces. Now, of course, you could work from the top down if that made more sense to you. But for whatever reason, it makes sense to me to go bottom up. I don't want to end up too far down on the card, even though they show it pretty far down. Okay. So I use 2 dimensionals on the back of that, and I put that down here. I can't decide if it's straight or not. I guess so. I really like this happy birthday. I like the font mix on there. I'm sure I will use that again. And then For this Older, Wiser, Better, we're going to use dimensionals on the back of this. And you can use 2 or 3. Whatever makes you happy. And this is going to go right above the happy birthday. You just want to make sure that you're not putting your dimensionals on top of the white paper that's already been dimensionaled. Okay. So we've got that. So we've got the happy birthday down here, and then the Older, Wiser, Better right above it. Oh, I totally missed something, guys. I'm so sorry. There was this. Oh, here it is. Oh boy. I'm really sorry. This actually goes under here. I'm just going to peel that off. You can see where it goes. And just using regular adhesive. I'm really sorry. I just didn't even see it this time around. I'm just going to overlay it. I've got that dimensional there, unfortunately. That's okay. So, put it on. It's all fixed. So when you make the rest of your cards, just remember to get that down. There we go. Always got to have something. Always got to do something wrong in the class, even though I made the cards already. I actually made them yesterday. I forgot. I usually like to do the kit right before class, you know, like a couple hours before, just so that it's kind of fresher in my mind. But I had class today, so. So the next thing that goes on is the bicycle. You can use as many or as few as you like. I'm going to use 3. And I think this is why they chose to use the mini dimensional, so that you could get in here and not have to worry. We've got our bicycle, and I just tucked the wheel right underneath the Older, Wiser, Better. And the last thing on this card, whenever you get to it, no rush, is some more rocks. So we have 2 flat and 1 roundish. Wish they would give these things names. I mean, I'd probably forget them anyway, but at least it had names. And I just put it right by the grass that we stamped. Kind of made a little pile of rocks over here. And that is it. So lots of little things to stamp, but got our little rocks here. Got kind of a little sign going on. We've got our birds. Pretty card. And I would use this for a woman, actually. I like it. That first one, I guess because it's fishing, so maybe to me that's more masculine. But a bicycle, I mean, women can fish too. That's we could have fisher women, fisher people. But
You could use a piece of pecan colored, make a bar if you wanted to make it for a guy.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to do anyways, because my husband likes to bike. So
Yeah.
and I'm going to use
Is he going to care that it looks like it might be a girl's
I'm not going to answer.
bike?
He would notice.
He would. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he is pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I can make it look like a man's bike. So
Yeah. Okay, are we ready to move on to the third one? Everybody, we okay? All right, let's go on to number 3. So this one is You Are a Lifesaver. So we're going to use all those little die cuts. And I do love this little cabin and the die cut. So anyway, all right. So again, we have some stamping to do. I guess we're still stamping 5 things or 6 things. So this time we're going to be stamping on that rectangle. Okay. And we're going to, I don't think we're stamping on this. We're going to be stamping on the card base. And I'm just pushing aside my little extra pieces. And of course on the label, we're going to stamp on that. So this one, because it has, it's a little hard to see where the front is, I am going to fold it before I stamp, even though I hate to do that. I like to have a flat surface, but it's okay because most of this gets covered. So let's go ahead and do that first. So that has the grass. We're going to stamp the grass. And show you, it's just kind of like poking out. And it's almost as if it's just greenery, the way that they've done it. So they stamped one down here, and yeah, it's upside down, right? That's how they have it. And then one over here. And so it's just going to poke out a little bit from our circle when we put it down. Okay, so that's how they stamp the greenery here. Just the greenery, and then you can put that aside. And then we're going to build our sign. And this one says, "Thanks, Dad." You could do "Thanks, Son," "Thanks," just "Thanks." Do whatever you want. But I'm going to do just as they did. So here's our thanks. We're going to put that here. And then we're going to get Dad. Then we're going to do our squiggly line at the top and bottom again. So again, I'm going to lay this down on my table, and then I'm going to pick it up so that it stays straight. And this goes at the top and at the bottom. And that's all we need to do for our little sign. And then they used on that banner, they used "You Are a Lifesaver." But for this one, you want to stamp it kind of to the left side. So you're not stamping it right in the middle. You're stamping it on the left. I'll hold that up. But when you get to it, you're not stamping in the middle. You're going to just stamp to the left. And that's all the stamping we need to do. I like that. We got to use a lot of the stamp. It wasn't hard stamping. It was just a bunch of stamping. All right. When you get all your stamping done, just give me a thumbs up so that I know before we move on. Okay. Great. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Let me put my ink pad away. That satisfying click when it closes. I love that. All right. So now we're going to assemble all these crazy pieces. So the first thing that I did was I took the circle and we're going to put it on using dimensionals. And again, you can use as many or as few as you want. I'm going to make sure one in the middle, and then I'm going to radiate out a little bit. So, and you notice I don't put mine right at the edge. I kind of keep it a little bit towards the center. And that's because, number one, I don't want to be able to see, you know, when you peek under the dimensionals necessarily, but also because it helps give the whole thing lift. If you only did the edges, you'd have to make sure that you lifted the middle more as well. But if you do it like this, I feel that it gets a little bit better lift. So, and when you put that on, you're covering up some of that greenery. And they went a little higher actually here. Went like that. Okay, so it's not centered, but it is on there. All right. Let's see. Next up, we're going to use regular adhesive for the circle that has the lake house. So again, you can use your tear and tape, you can use your regular adhesive, whatever makes sense, and just center that. Gotta try to get it straight. That's always my issue. All right, so now we have something that's lifted again. So we're going to be dealing with that, you know, dimensionals on one side and regular adhesive on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sign onto the background of the sign. I don't know what else to call that. Let me get that lined up. And then for this, we're going to put a line of adhesive, regular adhesive at the top and the dimensionals on the bottom, because we're going to be overlaying that circle, which is already lifted. Okay, here we go. This off. And this is going to go pretty much almost down to the bottom. So we're using up pretty much all the real estate on this card. That circle obviously takes up a lot. So it looks like that. And then, of course, the sign has to hang from something. So that's where it's going to be hanging from, the "You Are a Lifesaver." And we're going to just use regular adhesive on the back of this because we're putting it right onto the circle. So really nothing is going to be, not much is going to hang off here. We're going to put it so that "You Are a Lifesaver" is above where the sign is. It works out just about right where we had it. Okay, looks like that. And we're going to do our little pieces. So the little pieces are the little life jacket and then the oars. So let's talk about where we're going to put these. So we're going to put one oar like this and one oar like that. So they're crisscross applesauce, right? Like that. This is actually going to go over. So you can see that the parts that are coming onto the circle are going to get just a little bit of regular adhesive. And then the bottoms are going to need some dimensionals to keep it up. And then this is going to overlay them both. And we're just going to put dimensionals on the bottom of this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me just get out my little mat, because I'm going to use my regular adhesive up at the top. Again, if you use the tear and tape, you don't have to worry about that so much. And then I'm going to put one little dimensional at the bottom. And the little life jacket, this gets, they're just putting dimensionals right here. I'm just going to use one because, again, it is strong enough. So you're going to make sure that you put the lower oar going this way. And so, and then the upper oar going to go crisscross a little, like that. And then when you get to your lifesaver, it's just going to go over the top, kind of, you know, going over everything. And you can get your little greenery sticking out down here. And that's it. That is all we need to do on this card. There are no little rocks or anything. So it's a quick and easy card. Oops. All right. So while you're finishing up, I have some alternative projects that I can show you. And I'm just going to share my screen. There. Over here. All right. So here is one from Brian King. So pretty close to what we just did a little bit. And you see that sign? Well, that is that die is in the little kit that you can purchase for $12. That's the add-on kit. I'm going to grab that. I can show that to you when we're done. So always love Brian King's work. Is there? All right, come on. There we go. This one, so the big news this month was the first time, hang on one second. This is the first time that Europe and South Pacific have had the chance to have paper pumpkin. So we've got people from all over the world now submitting their alternative projects. So there are so many alternative projects out there. But I love this one. She cut out of the Lakeside Retreat and Waterside Retreat Designer Series paper. She cut out a bunch of the little fish and she made this adorable page. I just thought it was really well done. I love the symmetry of it, the way that she used the card base with the stripes and everything. So I just thought this was really great. So that's Eveline. I'm not even going to try to pronounce last names for this just because I don't want to insult anybody. So that's one. And so here are some cards from Gloria. And you can see how she made them into fun folds and she cut up the card bases. And this one, this looks very much like the one we just did, but she made it into a birthday card instead. And here, I like this too, the way that she put this at the bottom. It looks like she stamped some trees as well, some additional trees. So that's Gloria's. And then this is Jessica Brigden. So we've seen her work before, so she put together a whole bunch of different cards. I think they look really cute. Let's see, anything to point out? This one looks like it's a fun fold over here. You know, something a little extra. This one, Laura Siki. Now, if you get a chance, go out to the Paper Pumpkin Facebook page and you can see Laura Siki does a lot of great stuff, but I thought this was just too cute. So these little life preservers, like the one that we had on the card we just did, there's a sheet of the Waterside Retreat paper that has more of these, and so she made them into little thank yous. You were a lifesaver. I thought that was brilliant. Something we could easily do when we need it. All right, this is Melinda Hart. So again, using this whole suite is very popular. So that's the Waterside Retreat, but it has a lot of great things, but you can see that she used the Older, Wiser, Better, the Happy Father's Day. Look how she did the little squiggly lines. She did them on an angle here. And some of this is just the paper that the DSP, which is so fun. Lots of fish, a lot of fish in that lake. All right, so this is Rachel Tessman, who always does a brilliant job. You can see she's got a really fancy fold down here. This is a very popular technique in there. I've seen it called seeing double, and basically they just take a piece, they take two pieces that are the same and they cut them into strips. They keep one flat, and then for the second sheet, they take every other strip they put on dimensionals. So it looks like it's like popped up kind of, right? So that's all over Facebook right now. That's everybody's favorite little fun thing to do. Technique, I should say. So, and anyway, Rachel's got a bunch of really cool stuff out there. All right, this is Rosario from France, and she did, this is another thing that's very popular, and my friend Bonnie O'Neill, she does these every month, and they go into a frame, a 12 by 12 frame, and every month she comes up with these beautiful little different size squares and rectangles and whatever, and they just look really adorable, and this is Rosario's take on that, but I thought it went really well. Everything goes together really well.
Brenda, does she frame it then, or it
Yeah,
looks like
yeah.
a sampler of some sort?
Right, it's a sampler that goes into a 12 by 12 frame, and then like Bonnie changes it every month, and she actually does a class every month to do it. So, but she lives on Long Island, so I can't go. So, anyway, okay, this is Stacy, and you can see how she used the different pieces, how she cut it, stamped it, and then put it together there. Actually, I'm not, so this is really the only alternative. The rest are regular ones, but she used the different pieces from there. All right, this is Yolanda, and so she cut this out. So she put the circle, she found a circle die, which I believe is the largest one in the stylish shapes, that will cut out this circle, and so kind of made it a peekaboo card. And this one she cut it so that it's a postage stamp. So, you know, just little tiny changes that make it look really different and cute. So anyway, those are the different projects. And let me stop my share. So which card did you guys like best? Out of these? Anybody? Everybody's on mute.
I think the third one.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Yep. So the third one. I like the bicycle, personally. Beth?
Yeah, I like the third one, but the second one I also like, for people who like the beach and have a lot of friends it could go to.
Yeah. Lois, what do you think?
I said third.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Yes. Sharon, did you say?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. There's only four of you.
I really like them all, but I probably the third one, but honestly, I could see the fisherman. My husband's going to try fishing, so what the heck? And he bikes, so I like them all, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, it's a really nice kit all around.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice kit.
This was a great kit. I thought so too. So these are the dies that you can get as add-ons. So it has the sign, and it cuts out the little banner, and then the wonderful, which is always, every time they've been having different words that are in script, which is nice, because now we have like a nice little collection of words. Beautiful, wonderful now. There were some others. And then next month is, I don't know, there are fireworks, it looks like, in the next kit. So I'm interested to see what they did with that. And of course, butterflies and flowers, which you can never have enough of, or I can never have enough of. But yeah, so awesome. Thank you all for joining. So I think this went pretty well. How do I get everybody on here? Here we go. Get everybody back. There we go. And can you see everybody now? Or just I can, no?
Do.
Maybe if I remove spotlight. Huh. I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, thank you for joining. I can see all of you. And we'll see you the next time. So I'll be back the first Thursday of every month for a Paper Pumpkin, and we'll make the next kit. So thank you for joining.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brenda.